Chief. I've had quite a few people watching this on my first episode of this game yesterday. Which is really good. So people like watching it. We're doing a thing where someone has been run over by a car. This will be an mission if you played it on the PS4. So, yeah.
Looks like the DA is going to press charges. And Rodriguez might do time.
I'll speak to the DA. She suffered enough.
I don't know, Cole. She's an easy make, and the DA likes conviction.
I'll convince him to let it go.
How you do that?
I'll give him something better.
Not nice. Look at him.
Detectives, over here.
Cole Phelps, traffic. What have we got?
Thick as a white male, named Lester Patterson, walked out of the bar and into the street. Car hit over there, and he ended up here, dead on impact by the look of it.
Have you canvassed the area?
The only one with anything useful to contribute is the young lady over there. She lives above the bar. Her name is Shannon Perry. No, it's not a stage name. 24 years old, she left Kansas to follow the yellow brick road.
Is that so?
We'll take a formal statement later. Right now, we're going to take a look around.
Phelps, you should take a look at the body.
I ended on his face and ended up here. The car must have struck him from behind. Patterson has life insurance. We can notify next of kin. What have you got on the victim?
From all reports, he was intoxicated at the time of the accident. I'll know how intoxicated once I've done the autopsy. Looking him over now, I'd say he died on impact.
What about the chest wound? Isn't that inconsistent?
Very common in auto injuries. Look for a car with a prominent hood ornament. Those things are killers.
Body traveled a good 20 feet. This blood is a long way from the body. Car must have been going like a bat out of hell. So the driver managed to brake before the impact. I'm at a loss.
Witness statements next. We know we've got the girl as an eyeball, but we should check the bar as well. Miss Perry?
Yes?
I'm Detective Phelps. This is my partner, Detective Bukowski. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I came to the window because I heard people arguing downstairs.
Then what happened?
I saw a car hit that poor man and knock him down the street.
What kind of car was it?
A dark red Lincoln Continental.
Did you see the license plate?
Only the first 3 letters, I'm afraid. 3C8.
Tell me more about the argument you heard.
Well, there were 2 voices. A man and a woman, that's all.
Go on.
Then a 3rd person. Another man got involved.
Thank you, Miss Perry. Your information has been very helpful. You can go now.
You really think so? I hope you find that driver and put him away.
You certainly got away with the dames, Phelps.
Give it a rest, Bukowski.
Let's see what the patrons have to say.
I'll take the bartender. You work the rest of the room. I'm Detective Phelps of the LAPD.
How can I help, Detective?
Your name would be a good start.
Dudley Lynch. Hired help. I run the place when the owner ain't around.
Where is the owner?
He stepped out. Somebody had to take Lorna, Mrs. Patterson, home.
What can you tell me about the accident?
Not a lot. It was busy in here, and all I heard was the impact.
So you didn't see what happened?
By the time I got out there, it was all over.
Do you know the victim?
Yeah. Lester Patterson. He's a regular here, or he was.
Not one of your favorite customers?
Lester was special, but not my kind of special.
Was Lester drinking alone?
No. He came here with his wife. She didn't seem too interested in the booze, though.
A witness overheard an argument.
Lester and Lorna. There's nothing like airing your dirty laundry in public, is there?
What was it about?
Who knows? The slightest thing could set those 2 off.
Stalling just makes us more inquisitive, Lynch. We'll get to the bottom of this, with or without you.
That guy has a serious attitude problem.
You get anything out of the regulars?
They weren't giving too much away. They liked watching Lester and Lorna go a few rounds every other day. And Lester was a fan of the love tap.
Find anything interesting?
The paper?
The early bird gets the worm. The second mouse gets the cheese.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need to run a partial license plate, 3 Charles 8. Cross-check possible Lincoln owners. Suspect vehicle is a red Lincoln Continental.
Just a moment, Detective. Only one possible make on that license. Registered to a William Shelton, 738 West Temple Street.
Thanks, man.
Looks like we caught a break on this one.
So the wife was there when it happened, but then left the scene.
You're right. That's pretty unusual behavior.
She could be in shock. I saw some people do some strange things in the war.
Maybe. Maybe she doesn't give a fuck. According to the patron.
Take it easy.
You don't think... Phelps, the guy was run over. So it worked out well for this broad. So what? Maybe she deserved to catch a break. Who knows?
All units, a 459 just occurred at 6th and Saris. Any unit to handle, code 2 identified.
Yes? Hello?
Mrs. Patterson.
Is this about my husband?
We're investigating the incident, ma'am.
I see. Come in, won't you?
We wanted to give you the facts about the accident, ma'am.
I appreciate that, but I think I know most of them already, Detective. He was hit by a car, now he's dead. What more is there to tell?
Pardon me, but you don't appear to be too upset about it.
Lester and I met on a furlough in '44. We got married that weekend. People don't understand it now, but that happened a lot back then.
I see. So you probably did well to stick together this long.
What's that supposed to mean, mister? I think it's about time you left. I have someone here, and
Beg your pardon? You're gonna have to run that one by us again, sister.
It's okay, Lorna. I'm Leroy Sabo.
Well, well. Nice to see you're comforting the grieving widow, Mr. Sabo.
All right, wise guy. Do you have any intelligent questions you would like me to answer?
You can confirm Mrs. Patterson's story.
Lester lost at cards. He was kind of hard to control when he lost his temper. He turned without looking and walked right out in front of the car. It wasn't good.
What's your relationship with Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Sabo?
We're friends. Good friends.
You expect me to believe that?
Look, I was filing for divorce. Mental cruelty. Lester could be a mean son of a bitch.
And Lester knew about that?
No, I hadn't told him.
Well, hasn't this worked out well for the two of you? I feel almost bad for busting in on this little rendezvous.
How did the car come to hit Lester?
He walked straight into the path of an oncoming car.
You expect me to believe that, Lorna? It's all very convenient.
Gambling for Lester was like the needle for a hophead. He was yelling at me. He was yelling at the whole world. I kind of felt sorry for the driver. Poor guy had no chance.
You were arguing in the bar and on the sidewalk?
We were always arguing. So what?
Admit it. You were baiting him, pushing his buttons. We can easily get the full story from the regulars in the bar.
All right. Lester was playing cards out back. He lost, of course, and wanted back in. He suggested I earn the money on my back to get a mistake. That was the proposition he was putting to his so-called buddies. So maybe I was a little angrier than usual. Let's just say I took exception to his idea.
You and Mr. Sabo have an interesting day.
I'm sure we will, officer. Now, if you could both just leave.
We're leaving, ma'am. Sorry for your loss. I can see what a tough time you're having with all this. Come on, Phelps. Let's make ourselves scarce.
I'm out of here, Lorna. I got a business to run.
You think Mal is done with the autopsy? Better call it in and check, Phelps. Between the driver and the widow, I say we start dealing with the facts.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages for me, please.
Just one detective from the coroner. Message reads, Phelps, see me at Central Morgue immediately. Results of the Patterson autopsy.
Thank you.
Alright then, go to the morgue.
Are you blind? Next left.
We can put the driver in front of a judge in less than a week.
You'd be making a big mistake.
Run that by me again?
The victim was dead before the car hit him. 2 puncture wounds to the right side of the thorax. Second puncture reached his heart.
You're kidding me.
Been doing this job 23 years, son. No one's ever laughed at one of my jokes.
He was stabbed to death?
Long, sharp knife. Length of a bayonet.
So the hit and run was a cover-up?
I'd say he was stabbed twice at very close quarters. Both wounds thrusting upwards and then pushed in front of the car.
Easy, Tiger.
Clever, really. I almost missed it. But the trajectory of the wounds was all wrong if he was impaled by the hood ornament. Find the knife, detectives.
Yes, sir. It all comes back to the crime scene. We need to hit Ray's one more time and trial for evidence.
Carruthers will confirm this as the murder weapon. Let's talk to Leroy. See him explain his way out of this.
The knife is cause enough to pinch Leroy. Let's get inside and ask him what it's doing in his trash can.
Sabo, you're under arrest for the murder of Lester Patterson.
Not gonna happen, fellas. Go! I'll bring the car around and head him off. It's too late, Sabo. He's making for the roof, Cole. The fire escape, quick! You look spooked, Phelps. I thought you'd been under fire before.
It never gets any easier, Bukowski. Have patrol pick up Mrs. Patterson.
So, I give you a hit and run. You bring me back fraud, conspiracy, and first-degree murder. This is how a good detective operates, Phelps. You take nothing at face value. You keep digging and asking questions until you get to the truth. You got some sharp elbows on you, detective. I like that. Keep up the good work.
Phelps, Bukowski. B-Cop says he located a green Kaiser Fraser from the hot sheet. Address is 6 West 2nd Street. Get over there, see what you can find out. Go on. Sorry to inconvenience you.
We're on it, Captain. I swear the more bent cars we bring in, the longer the hot sheet gets.
It pays the rent, though. Keeps Mrs. Phelps in the manner to which she's accustomed.
I'm not sure she'd agree with you.
Passionate, romantic type like you, Cole? I don't believe a word. Take it easy, Phelps. I'd rather get there in one piece.
They're calling her the Dahlia now. Wonder what Veronica Lake makes of that one.
What a case. You hear whether they're making any progress?
But Captain Donnelly seems to think they have it all wrapped up. Brown and Green are sweating this Manley character. I heard it'll be in front of a grand jury by next week.
Poor thing. Terrible enough being murdered like that without having their death strewn all over the front page.
11 tail 49, 11 tail 49.
That's the car, Cole. Just pulling out of the drive. Get him. Remember, we need him healthy enough to answer questions.
1247, Detective Phelps, requesting immediate backup in pursuit of a stolen green Kaiser Fraser from 6 West 2nd Street.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
All right. Maybe I was a couple miles over the speed limit.
Get bracelets on him, Phelps.
Out of the car now!
Why did you run from us? I saw a big car in my rearview mirror with two tough guys bearing down on me. What would you do?
What's your name?
Cliff Harrison.
You're under arrest.
For what? What are you talking about?
Nice try. I'm talking about the car being stolen.
You're out of your mind. I bought the car, and I've got the paperwork to prove it.
Looks like we'll have some questions for the people at Coombs Automotive. You purchased this car from Coombs Automotive Company?
Yeah, that's right.
And the ownership papers?
From the same place.
If this is a forgery, it's top-notch. This will need to be traced. You have a criminal record, Mr. Harrison?
No, nothing like that.
You expect us to believe you.
Is that so much to ask?
Who did you deal with at Coombs Automotive?
The owner, Richard Coombs.
And he made out the bill of sale personally?
Of course he did. He kept a facsimile for his records. Check with him.
We're going to get to the bottom of this, Harrison. Until we do, you're going downtown.
You gotta be kidding me. I'm getting arrested for buying a goddamn car?
If everything is legit, Harrison, you'll be out soon. Until then, if I were you, I'd keep my mouth shut.
Bag his possessions as evidence and have him arraigned for Grand Theft Auto.
Right, Detective.
Do you know who my father is?
We need to get to Coombs Auto and check out Harrison's story.
You know what? I think he's telling the truth.
Some of the most convincing people you will ever listen to are born liars. Usually they're called politicians.
The paperwork all looked above board, and he seemed like a clean-cut kid.
Uh-huh. I get it now. You see some kid who's basically you 5 years ago and assume he's got to be innocent.
I'm more than happy to be proved wrong.
Hey, if he'd been black or Hispanic, you'd be singing a different tune. You spout all this communist crap about treating everybody the same, but it only works one way.
I'm not sure that's communism, Stefan.
Oh, God, please. Not another history lesson from the man who single-handedly won the war.
Are you finished?
Yes. I feel much better now. We'll shake down the car dealer and take it from there. Unless his daddy plays golf with yours, of course. In which case, we'll give him a firm gentleman's handshake and be on our way.
See? I knew you weren't finished.
Not another step. I have got a Buick Century sedan that would be absolutely perfect for you.
Detective Phelps, LAPD, are you the owner?
That's right. Richard Coombs at your service. You looking to trade in a black and white, boys?
Mr. Coombs, we're investigating an auto theft. A man by the name of Cliff Harrison claims he bought the car here.
Well, some people would say that my cars are a steal. That's a joke, son.
Very amusing, Mr. Coombs.
I remember Harrison. It was a green two-tone Kaiser Frazer, if I remember rightly.
Do you have the bill of sale?
It's in my office. Walk this way. That's a joke, too, son.
Phelps, you mind if I shoot this guy? He's getting on my nerves.
Here it is. Got the original pink slip there, too.
Gene Archer, 146 North Fremont Avenue. Harrison's purchase receipt was legit, at least. We have a couple of questions.
All right, fellas. Shoot.
Can you tell us how you came to buy the car?
Girl just wandered in right off the street.
You need to give us something, Coombs, if you don't want to be implicated in this.
Yap, yap, yap. Son, your problem is that your gums keep flapping, but you do no listening.
Can you describe this Gene Archer?
Brunette, maybe 25, 26. Little on the plump side, but not bone ugly.
What was your impression of her?
Kind of harried and harassed. In a hurry to go somewhere, but no place to go. You get to know the type.
Do you know anything about the company that prints these pink slips?
Nope. Should I? It isn't exactly my business.
These pink slips are leading us to something big, Coombs. It's time to stop being cute.
I'm going to assume you're having a bad day, son. I sell cars, not paper.
This was all above board.
Yes, of course it was.
What can you tell us about Archer?
Somewhat on the simple side. In a big hurry, too.
We get awful attentive to people who obstruct LAPD investigations.
Any ideas?
Please, Phelps, I'm begging you, get the information out of this clown so we can leave. Well, Harrison might be off the hook, but we can still run an APB on Gene Archer. Get on the horn and call it in.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Requesting an APB on Gene Archer, age approximately 25, on suspicion of grand theft auto.
I'll relay the information.
I need an address on a marquee printing company.
Marquee Printing Company, sure. Just a moment. Aliso Street, near San Pedro.
Messages, please.
A James Velasco is being held at Central Station on suspicion of GTA. Possible link to the Harrison case. They're waiting on you to conduct the interview.
Thanks.
Here's a chicken and egg question for you. Do you think you have to be an asshole to sell cars? Or that selling cars turns you into an asshole?
You've got it in for everyone today, haven't you?
I've always got it in for car salesmen. Doesn't matter what day it is. And why do they always think they're comedians when they're about as funny as a heart attack?
Maybe the more annoying they are, the quicker you sign on the dotted line. Just to get the hell out of here.
103 AD.
Empty. Should have known that Archer broad would have given us a false address.
We should go to the station, see what this Velasco guy has to say.
handle. Code 3, identify.
Detectives, Velasco is prepped and ready in 2. Another stolen car with legit papers.
Thanks.
The thing was, he was a really nice guy.
Hey! Fuck you! I swear this town is going.
Crummy bastard.
James Velasco?
I want a lawyer. It's my car and I got the proof right here. Take a look for yourself.
The paper is real enough, Velasco, but the car isn't yours. This pink slip is a forgery. Where were you taking the car, James?
Blow it off, greenhorn. You'll get nothing from me.
Come on, Velasco. Don't make it hard on yourself.
I've got nothing to say till I see an attorney.
Does the name Jean Archer mean anything to you?
Nope. Never heard of her.
You want my partner here to convince you that you do know her?
I'm giving you the straight dope. I don't know no Jean Archer.
You had a chance to cooperate, Velasco. See you in 10 years when you get out.
You're Phelps, right?
Yes, I am. Look, can we do this later? I'm in the middle of it.
Ray Pinker. I'm with Technical Services. The pink slips are all real.
Yes, we know that.
There's only one company that prints them in California, the Marquee Printing Company. They've confirmed that the numbers are legitimate.
You've checked them out?
Sure. They're on Aliso Street, near the corner of San Pedro. The guy I spoke to was Lightval. Gordon Lightval. Here, I wrote it down.
Thanks, Ray. This is a great lead. We'll get down there as soon as we can.
Phelps, your GTA suspect, Jean Archer, spotted by a patrolman. Western Union office, 253 South Hill. Less than a minute away down the street if you run. Go! She won't hang around.
Come on! We don't want to lose her! Open your eyes! You don't care who gets in your way, do you?
LAPD. We'll take it from here.
God damn it. Everyone's against me. Look, just let me get my money and get out of here, okay? You look sweet. How about giving a girl a break? I could be very nice.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Miss Archer. Stefan, call for black and white.
Just my luck to get the only hair sure cop in the LAPD.
The car you sold to Coombs was stolen, Miss Archer. There won't be any money.
I handed over all the right paperwork when I sold it, Buster.
Jean, you've blown open the whole operation because you were dumb enough to try to sell one of the cars. What do you think they're going to do to you? Give me something.
I was just doing what they do. They paid me $50 to drive the car. I made $2 grand selling it.
You made zero. And if they catch you, you're dead. Is that all your life's worth?
Look, a girl needs things. I don't see you looking out for me.
How long have you and Velasco been delivering cars?
Who is James Velasco?
He's your boyfriend. He's the guy you boost cars with. He gave you up. He thinks you're so dumb you'd steal a free sample.
So I'm no genius. and make the best with what I've got. Why are you so cruel?
You decided to make this hard on yourself, Jean. Let's see how you handle the hard time.
Well, now you've either got to stop or put your fucking foot down. Friendly girl.
Used to getting her own way.
Little did she know her feminine charms were useless against the impenetrable Cole Phelps.
She's not my type.
And what is your type, Phelps?
I'm married.
I know that. But you're not blind or dead inside, are you? Wait, scrap that second half of the question.
I don't know. Blondes, I guess.
Hallelujah! The man is human after all. Now we're getting somewhere. Yep, I'm with you on the blondes. Brunettes are fine too. And there's nothing wrong with a good redhead. But I draw the line at gray. You know what? I might have to lift that embargo soon in the interest of maintaining a free market.
A man with high standards.
The standards are only as high as the last glass of whiskey.
And what can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm a traffic detective from Central Division. Who's in charge here?
I am, Gordon Lightfall. What's this about?
We understand that your company prints California vehicle titles.
Yes, I have the government contract to print pink slips. I've done for some years.
Have you had any goods or equipment stolen recently? We're running up against stolen cars with seemingly legitimate paperwork.
Not recently. Have you ruled out forgery? There's no shortage of talented artists in this town.
We'll keep it in mind. We have some questions for you, Mr. Lightfall. Mr. Lightfall, we're currently working 2 auto theft cases. Do you know anything about a car theft ring?
Certainly not. Why would I get mixed up in a thing like that?
I'm not accusing you of being involved, Mr. Lightfall. I just wondered whether you had heard anything.
Yes, I see. We have had attempts to break in here before. A lot of the government forms here have value to criminals.
Do the names Cliff Harrison and James Belasco mean anything to you?
No, they do not.
Harrison bought his car from Coombs. The pink slip looks good, and that points the finger here. Do you have any employee trouble?
No, I don't. They've all been carefully screened. Look, now that I think about it, the name Coombs sounds familiar. I think they may have been involved in stolen documents in the past.
Do you have a delivery ledger, Mr. Lightfall? We would like to cross-check against the Coombs Automotive Emporium.
It's a little out of the ordinary, Detective. I'm not sure I can share those sorts of records.
Hand it over, Lightfall. You don't want us having bad thoughts about you, do you?
Very well, but this really is irregular. Over here. Well, I trust you've got all that you need.
Look for patterns, recurring names, unusual addresses, anything out of the ordinary.
You certainly encourage repeat business, Lightfall. This Mr. Bigelow is a good customer.
Sorry to bother you, sir. We'll let you know if there are any developments.
Central unit of 415, possible mental case at 7th and Flower. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
And for the 5 precinct unit that is connected, respond.
Slow down!
We should call for a couple of black and whites. Get Fleischer down here.
I thought you Marines were gung-ho, Cole. You have a 45. Don't you ever want to use it? I'll take the back. Just give me a few seconds to get around there.
Cole Phelps, LAPD. All of you are coming downtown with me.
Think so, huh? Let's go! The cops!
Throw out the guns.
You're pretty brave for a dead.
Line them up. Go! You're clear!
Yep.
Go!
Weapons on the ground, now!
Let's move forward! Let me see if I can put one.
Put your weapons down and your hands in the air.
All right, goddammit, all right.
How long do you think you can hold out?
You're moving, mister. Come get me. I've got you, Phelps. I got you now, motherfucker. Head in cover! Your move, mister. Come get me.
You're surrounded, and your buddies are dead.
Let's clear the top floor. I don't want to get drilled in the back on the way out.
I had the door at the end. I heard something.
All right, don't shoot!
Keep your hands up. Watch him, Bukowski. He doesn't move until I've tossed this place. Marquee Printing Company. There's nothing like going direct to the source.
Betting slip. Looks like Mr. Lightfall has been on a losing streak.
There are enough slips here to keep them stealing cars till Christmas. We've got a trail of pink slips and stolen cars that leads right to your door, Bigelow. You're in this up to your neck, but I don't think you're the man in charge. Make it easier on yourself. Give him up.
I do work on cars for customers. You charge in here shooting up the place like it's the Ballad of Bulge. I can't give you anything.
We know about marquee printing. You can make this easier on yourself by giving us your man on the inside.
I sometimes repair cars and put them back on the road. I need a pink slip to resell them. There's no problem there.
There are at least 4 dead men in this warehouse. A couple more. Punks won't make for that much extra paperwork. We'd be doing the legal system a favor.
Okay, tough guy. I get the message. Lightfall, the guy who runs Marquee. He's the big shot. He likes to spend big at the track. He owes people.
Lightfall, the guy with no luck at the track. Tell me about him.
It's one of the guys lying over there. You're right. He has no luck.
So if I go over there and check his jacket, your story's gonna ring true? I'm warning you, Bigelow.
Give it a try, Flatfoot. For some reason, none of my guys like to bring ID to work.
Whether you give up your bosses or not, Bigelow, you're going away for as long as I can put you there.
We'll see. I didn't fire a shot, copper. I just watched you tear my place up.
What a mess.
Gonna take some cleaning up, that's for sure.
I wish it hadn't gone that way.
Well, they shouldn't bring guns to work with them. We didn't have a lot of choice.
You have to admire the barefaced cheek of someone who tries to blow your brains out one minute and pleads innocence the next.
Yeah, especially when he's surrounded by evidence. But guys like Bigelow spend so much time convincing themselves that they're not doing anything wrong that they actually start to believe their own bullshit.
They get sloppy. Bigelow, Lightfall, all of them. If they hadn't, who knows how long they could have kept this racket going.
Complacency or greed. It's always one of the two that brings them down.
KGPL to any unit, the 459, they're now at 267 South Main. Unit to handle code 2, identify.
You're under arrest.
You again? This harassment is starting to wear thin.
We found a box of pink slips in a warehouse full of hot cars. You signed for them, Lightbulb.
I signed for all the orders and deliveries. You'll need something better than that, cowboy.
Your money and influence will be worthless in San Quentin. If you don't go crazy in the first couple of months, then you'll probably get knifed in the chow line. Is that what you want?
Save it for the suckers, Detective. You'll get nothing from me.
Gordon Lightball, I'm charging you with conspiracy and fraud. Hands behind your back.
Now, where shall I start? With the 2 GTA suspects we had to let walk free? Or with the female suspect, who I am reliably told slipped the leash with embarrassing ease? You just lost the chance to crack one of the biggest criminal operations in this city. How do you think that makes me look? The chief has my balls in a frying pan! Now get out there and fill some charge sheets. Misdemeanors if you have to. Get me something before I even think about giving you another case.
My family runs a shipping business in San Francisco. We used to have 2 ships a week to Tokyo. We've been in shipping for 2 generations, Hank. I've never been on a voyage anywhere. I feel like Odysseus in the beginning of his journey.
The Odyssey took 10 years, Cole.
This is the American century. America can rule the world after we win this war.
We need to stay alive, Cole. These men are counting on us. Have you heard what the veterans are saying to each other?
No.
Golden Gate and 48. That's 4 more hard years of fighting.
Phelps, Bukowski, you have a new case. 2 women, possible drink drive.
How is that a case?
The broad says she was doped and that somebody tried to kill her.
Where did this take place?
That's the bit you're gonna love. Right across the street.
What?
A Chevy Styline took a nosedive off the escarpment, fetched up underneath the Cola King billboard. Up to it, boys. We got bad guys to catch.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop them with 1 round.
See you later, fellers. Try not to work too hard.
Look at you, bantering with the boys. A tear to my eye watching my caterpillar grow wings.
I'm just trying to fit in.
Educated, hardworking, straight as an arrow. I would break it to you, Cole, but you'll never fit in at 7.
Can we try to get there in one piece?
Stop just ahead. Her face looks familiar.
Well, that's June Ballard, Tarzan's sister, beast of the Amazon. She's married to Guy McAfee. The captain has moved to Vegas now, but the two of them still have juice. Phelps, traffic.
Detective Phelps. Hey, Bukowski. Long time no see.
You could have called this in by megaphone, Enrique. Phelps, this is Enrique Gonzalez. Enrique was a pretty decent middleweight. What do we have, Gonzalez?
Broad drives right through the empty lot and off the side of the escarpment. Her story is that a movie producer doped her and her friend and sent the car over the cliff.
Was anyone hurt?
The driver's beat up. Not too bad considering. If she hadn't hit that billboard, we'd be scraping both of them off the pavement. Passengers are Jessica Hamilton. She's just a kid. She's pretty knocked around.
Kid gonna be all right?
I think so. They've taken her to central receiving. If you want to take a look around, stall the ambulance.
Thanks. Do that.
One more thing. Watch out for the driver. She cuts rough.
If you're looking for the coroner, he's down by the crash site.
You'll want to see this, Phelps. There, laid out on the trunk. And that isn't even the best part.
Looks like they're lucky they weren't more badly injured.
Must have been unconscious. Being relaxed tends to lessen the soft tissue damage.
They've been torn off. Where did you find them?
They were stuffed in the young lady's handbag. I'll run a trace for semen when I get back to the lab.
She's a long way from home. Drunk driver?
Maybe not.
How so?
Well, a head I found without a body piqued my interest. See what you think.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. Is it real?
No. I think it's supposed to be a replica of an Indian shrunken head. It's some kind of curio or movie prop. See the casting marks?
What's it made from?
Plaster of Paris would be my first guess, then painted.
So we can rule out the murder angle?
No, you can rule that in. That thing was wedging the accelerator to the floor. Whoever did it wanted these women dead.
How does someone manage to tip their ride straight off a cliff? If the driver's in a fit state, we should ask.
Mrs. McAfee, we would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I prefer to use my maiden name, June Ballard. You might be familiar with some of my work.
Can you tell us what happened here?
You're kind of cute for a cop. Maybe a bit on the serious side.
What about me, June? I'm a big fan of Beast.
I don't like. Keep out of this.
We understand that you're still suffering from the effects of the accident, Mrs. McAfee. The officer says that you claimed that you were drugged. But who did this to you?
That rat slipped us a Mickey Finn. It's no wonder I feel so dopey. I can't remember.
It's a serious offense to withhold information from the police during a criminal investigation, madam.
I told you to call me June. You're making me feel like an old lady. And don't bother your handsome head about this. My husband will settle the score with Mark Bishop.
What can you tell us about the passenger in your car?
Jessica Hamilton. Poor Jessica. It's been a rough day for her. She's desperate to break into movies. What more can I say?
How old is Jessica, Mrs. Ballard?
I couldn't say how old Jessica is. Old enough, sweetheart, as the saying goes.
We found a shrunken head. It was used to tamper with your car.
You see, I normally don't drive off cliffs. The last thing I remember is getting behind the wheel.
It's obviously some kind of movie prop. You must know where it came from.
In case you hadn't noticed, I am the talent. And the talent doesn't deal with props or sets or any of that kind of stuff. Why don't you ask Mark Bishop which prop house he uses?
You mentioned a Mark Bishop. You think he might have had something to do with this?
He is a movie producer. As for his involvement, you just leave it to me and my husband to worry about.
I want to know what happened between you two that made him want to commit a double murder.
Bishop offered me a part in his picture. Then he withdrew it. Fact is, we had a deal. I pressed him on it, and this is where I end up.
Mrs. McAfee, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you accompanied Patrolman Gonzalez back to the receiving hospital.
I'm going to be okay. These guys can take me home after. My lawyer and I have talked to the news hounds.
Mrs. McAfee, you are still under the influence of narcotics, and you're likely to go into shock once the drugs wear off.
And I thought you were a heel. It's nice of you to be concerned.
I think we're good here. Let's go see what we can shake out of the kid.
Hello, person joined. Welcome to my live stream.
11 King. The car crash victim has regained consciousness at Central Receiving Hospital.
11K Roger, en route.
Hello, Detective Phelps, here to interview a Jessica Hamilton.
Jessica Hamilton. Oh, yes. She's in the room, right behind you, Detective.
You can't hold me here. No! I don't
Feeling
need
better
to be
since this
manhandled
morning,
by
Jessica?
a doctor. I need my
A little.
lawyer.
My head still
Where
feels
is the
funny.
telephone? Do you know who I...
Hello, Jessica. My name is Cole Phelps. I'm a policeman. I'd like to talk to you about your accident, if that's okay.
Okay.
Can you tell me what you remember about the crash?
It's all kind of fuzzy. I remember waking up here. Nothing happened yesterday.
You're holding out on me, Jessica.
Please, I want my doctor. I'm not sure I can answer any more questions right now.
We need to get in touch with your parents, Jessica, to tell them what has happened.
Oh, you don't need to worry them. They sent me along to stay with Aunt June. They trust her to take care of me.
You're lying, Jessica. How are we going to make this right if you lie to us?
Please, Detective, why would I lie to you?
Because you're a runaway, Jessica, and you don't have your parents' permission to be here. Now, do you want to tell me what really happened?
I went with Junie to this strange place. It's difficult to remember. Someone gave me a drink to calm my nerves, and then I felt faint. I think I must have passed out.
How did you meet Mr. Bishop?
Well, Junie is a big movie star. You probably know that. She's doing a new movie.
What's the story with Bishop and Mrs. McAfee? Why does he want the two of you dead?
That can't be true. Mr. Bishop seemed very happy today. I mean, yesterday.
And that's why he wedged a shrunken head against the accelerator pedal and punted the two of you over an escarpment?
I overheard Junie speaking to him on the phone a couple of times. Screaming, really. She can be very hard sometimes, Junie. But they seemed okay yesterday, like they worked it out.
I know what happened to you, Jessica. Where exactly did it take place?
Please, it's scary. It's really difficult to think of anything.
Someone tried to kill you, Jessica. Do you get it? Forget about being in movies. It's time to act like a grown-up.
I had to wear a robe and lay down on a stone. There were lights, a camera. It's not my fault. I'm not a bad girl. Why are you trying to hurt me?
Thank you, Jessica. You've been a big help.
Hello,
Here's my card.
person.
If
Joined.
you
Welcome
think of
to
anything
my
or
live
you
stream.
need some help, just get in touch, okay?
Okay.
I think it might be a good idea if you went back home till you felt better, Jessica.
I couldn't do that, officer. What if I got the part and I wasn't there?
It's the tale of this town, Cole. Lambs that go willingly to slaughter. Who the hell is that?
Must be her lawyer. He certainly expedited her release.
I don't like it, Cole. Why is she in such a hurry? We should follow her. There she goes. Come on.
Alright, gotta follow this car.
Too close, Phelps. You're way too close.
She seems to have made a remarkably speedy recovery.
You've got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile means, Phelps.
Get in there and see what she's up to.
Whoops.
Get in there and see what she's up to. Get in there and see what she's up to.
Hello, 2 people joined. Welcome to my live stream.
Baby? No! I don't want him taught a lesson. You
What
know
do you
what I want.
remember, buddy?
Well, then make someone else do it! You still know people out here, don't you? Then make some calls! I'm gonna be very clear about this. You get this done, or I'm...
Hello to the
Wilson
person
Hotel.
just joined. Welcome
Mr.
to my
Mark
live stream.
Bishop, that son of a bitch, lives in apartment 803. Sure, I got the film.
So what's the story? I'm guessing she didn't stop for light refreshments.
She made a call. Sounds like Mark Bishop has a heap of trouble headed his way. I've got an address. Wilson's Hotel, apartment 803.
Hello, person just joined. Welcome to my live
If he's got any
stream.
sense, he'll be as far away from home as possible.
If he had any sense, he wouldn't have tried bumping off Guy McAfee's wife in the first place. Or he'd have done the job properly. McAfee will break a fella's legs just for looking at his broad the wrong way.
What did you make of the kid? You believe her story? I think she was doped out of her tiny mind and given the casting couch. That fucking bitch Ballard sold her out.
So if Ballard was doing someone a favor, why did they try to kill her?
All units, officer needs help. 333 South Main Street. 333 South Main Street. Officer needs
Hello,
help.
person
211,
just
shots
joined.
fired.
Welcome to my
Unit
live
to handle
stream.
code 3 identified.
All units in the vicinity in car 11K, 11 King, a 415 in progress at apartment 803, Wilson's Apartment Hotel, 1220 West 7th Street, Westlake Park. 11K code 3, all other units code 2. KGPL clear.
Gun it! Let's get to the apartment before someone gets hurt.
Car 11K, 11K, we have no other units available. In progress at 1220 West 7th Street. Repeat, 1220 West 7th Street, Wilson's Apartment Hotel. 11K.
I'm Detective Phelps. We received a call about a domestic disturbance in apartment 803.
Oh, the detectives. Listen, Mrs. Bishop's pretty upset. Take the elevator and then left down the corridor. It's the last door on the right.
Wait, and
Sounds like we're about to make it a hat trick of hysterical female witnesses.
LAPD, ma'am. Are you in danger?
I'm all right now. You just missed them. Horrible, awful men.
Are you injured, Mrs.
Mrs. Bishop. Gloria Bishop. Please, come in, officers. I'll just need to sit down for a moment. Forgive me.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am.
Just look at this mess!
We'll take a quick search of the premises, ma'am. You take a moment to gather your thoughts.
I will. Thank you, officer.
It doesn't appear to be connected.
Presented to Mark.
It would take a smarter man than me to connect that. Nope. Not much help.
What do you have to do to earn $20,000?
No good to me.
Great Wall of Babylon. A replica of a replica.
Seems irrelevant. Nothing significant. Looks like a mermaid in the background. Silver screen.
Who are these men in the picture?
My husband, Mark, and Marlon Hopgood. They work together on occasion. That's Hopgood's shop.
Those men, I think they work for Guy McAfee. Do you know the name?
No. Why should I?
June Ballard is married to Guy McAfee. Have you heard of her?
That slut. She's been badgering my husband for days.
Mrs. McAfee alleges that your husband tried to kill her and her friend last night. I think you should tell us what you know.
My husband's a movie producer. This has something to do with his new picture. He doesn't include me in his business.
June Ballard said she had a deal to be in his new picture.
Mark repeatedly told her no. He had Joan Leslie lined up for the role. That's how he got the finance. June made all kinds of threats. She was very rude to me.
You know June Ballard?
We were both on the same picture a few years back. That's how I met my husband.
Where can we find your husband, ma'am?
He told me he would be on set. That's all I know.
Either we find him or McAfee's people do, Mrs. Bishop. If you care for him, you should make sure that we find him first.
I do care for him. But I don't really know where he'd go if he were in trouble. Hopgood might know.
Why is your husband paying Lorna Hopgood $20,000?
Lorna? Marlon's ex-wife? Are you sure?
Your husband looks like he's being blackmailed. They obviously have something on him if he's prepared to kill to cover it up. Why is the payment going to Hopgood and not McAfee?
Lorna works at a check-cashing place in Hollywood. You need to ask Hopgood why he needs that much money in cash.
Your husband is in trouble. It could go easier for him if you were more helpful, Mrs. Bishop.
He's a big boy, Detective, and so are you. This is Hollywood. There's always a deal to be done.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a location on a silver screen prop store.
Just a moment. Silver Screen Props, corner 3rd and Figueroa.
Thanks for your help.
An aging movie star, a wannabe starlet, a movie producer's wife. They're finally rubbing shoulders with the almost rich and famous.
And from the stories they've given us, clearly none of them can act.
Mrs. Bishop knows more than she's letting on.
She doesn't seem to realize how much trouble her husband is in. The LAPD are the least of their worries right now.
You'd think she'd have gotten the hint after those hatchet men redecorated her apartment.
Maybe she's just loyal.
Or she's in on it. She didn't seem like your average giddy broad with nothing between the ears.
Or she might just be trying to buy enough time for Bishop to put a couple of oceans between him and McAfee.
All units, officers help. Major 415, 1624 West 3rd Street, 1624 West 3rd Street. Any unit to handle code 3, identify.
You're a goddamn menace!
Phelps and Bukowski, LAPD. We're investigating the attempted murder of June Ballard and Jessica Hamilton.
Christ. I'm Marlon Hopgood. How can I help?
You hold castings here?
How'd you hear about that? I got a little soundstage out back.
Lead the way. Keep him here, Stefan. I'm gonna take a look around.
What's this got to do with me?
Don't try my patience, knucklehead.
Doping a 15-year-old kid and abusing her in a screen test. What is wrong with these people? Turn off the lights, Hopgood.
Why would I want to do that?
Humor him.
One-way mirrors. There's a room on the other side.
Huh. Well, well. Find a way into that peep den, Phelps. I'll stay here and keep our pervert company.
I wonder if they saw this, how many budding starlets would still get on the bus to come to Hollywood. So what happened to the film of Hamilton's screen test?
A person just joined. Welcome to my live stream.
Jungle Drums, 8th and Francisco. Attention, Mark Bishop.
Hello, the person just joined. Welcome to my live stream.
You ever do any work for Mark Bishop?
Mainly do work for the studios. RKO, Republic, Warner Brothers. So yeah, when Bishop is doing work for a studio, yes.
When did you last see him?
Now I'm doing work for his next picture. Still pre-production though. Haven't seen him around here in a while.
He was here yesterday, and something happened that pushed him over the edge. You're holding out on us, Hopgood.
You know, I have very good connections with the Vice Squad.
Yeah, well, there's a surprise.
They won't appreciate you coming in here and strong-arming me.
McAfee's men are looking for Bishop. We need to find him first. Any idea where he might have gone to ground?
If he really tried to kill McAfee's wife, my advice to him would be to leave town.
I'm warning you, Hopgood. If you give him up to McAfee and we find out about it...
Wind it back a notch, tough guy. I'm telling you, I don't know where he is.
That's all for now, Hopgood. We're taking you in.
Phelps. Roy Earl, ad vice. Hold on a moment. This is clearly a vice case. You've been roughing up my informant?
Hopgood is a vice informer?
Yes, he is, Phelps, and a very important one. Look at that mug. Have you been upsetting these two officers, Marlin?
So we just drop it?
You do if you know what's good for you. You need to catch the movie producer before an angry husband does, from what I'm hearing.
I'll be making a full report to the captain, Detective.
You do that, kid. We're all very impressed with you. Let it slide, Cole. Let's get out of here.
Detectives.
Johnny Goldberg. You work for Mickey C.
That's right, detectives.
You wouldn't happen to know the guys who roughed up Mrs. Bishop earlier today, by any chance?
No, not us. We don't do that kind of thing. It's the husband we'd like to talk to.
This is a police matter. You don't want to be taken in for obstruction of justice, do you, boys?
You could try the obstruction rap, but it won't stick. We could beat that.
You've had your 10 cents worth, gentlemen.
Bishop knows how the world works. Mrs. McAfee hits him up for a movie part. Happens every day. But Bishop takes it a step too far and tries to rub out Mrs. McAfee. Naturally, Guy is going to get upset.
What made you think Bishop would be here?
We figure he might be planning a little accident for Hopgood, too. Those two guys have got some unfinished business. You let us know if you find Bishop. Guy McAfee can be a very generous man.
I'm only going to warn you once, gentlemen. Stay out of this. This is a police matter. We will be bringing Mark Bishop into custody.
At least he's polite. Kind of dumb, but polite.
But I'm a lot less polite, you smug son of a bitch. So let me put it in ruder terms that even a pair of blockheads like you might understand. The only reason that you don't have bars on your windows already is because you're small fry. And we don't waste our time on small fry. You stay away from Bishop, and you stay away from me. Is that clear enough for you, asshole? Now run along back to your boss so we can pat you on the head and tell you what good boys you are.
Keep it steady. I'll try and bust his tires. They really don't want anybody getting to Bishop before they do.
Let's see him chase us now. Onto the movie set, Phelps. Let's roll.
Oh, Christ. And they say working traffic is like watching paint dry.
You know how to piss people off, Bukowski.
Hey, if they're prepared to gun down cops in broad daylight, McAfee really means business.
Seems like we're the only ones who want Bishop alive.
I have a good mind just to let him go work on the son of a bitch.
There's the slippery bastard now.
No. God damn it! Mark Bishop, stop! LAPD!
Get him, Phelps. I'll cover the exit. 11K calling KGPL, requesting assistance at 8th and Francisco, the abandoned movie set. My partner is pursuing suspect on foot. Code 3, KGPL.
We're trying to help you, Bishop!
This is all a big mistake!
Hello, Pez. And just joined. Welcome to my live stream.
It's us or McAfee's boys. Your choice.
I didn't do anything! Get the hell out of here, you goddamn maniac!
Bishop, that's enough!
That girl made it all up!
Hello to the two people just joined. Welcome to my live stream.
Don't make this any harder on yourself, Bishop. Bishop, move another inch and you're dead. Mark Bishop, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of June Ballard and the rape and attempted murder of Jessica Hamilton.
All right, I'll come quietly. Just don't kill me. If you found me, then McAfee's goons will too. Oh, we need to get out of here.
All right, you stay close. Any tricks, and I'll save McAfee's boys the trouble.
Follow me. I know another way out of this place. Christ, detective, they're trying to kill me!
Last chance to back the hell down.
It's this way.
McAfee doesn't make the rules. You hear me?
Kill them, for God's sake! I don't want to die!
LAPD. Is this really the best McAfee's got?
For the love of God, how many are there?
There's no way out of here. I thought you said you knew where you were going.
We have to jump for it. I don't want to die here. This is all Ballard's fault.
Alright, where's the exit to this?
I should have known that bitch was trouble.
Find some cover! Shit. Can't hit him. Damn it. Great.
Follow me! Come on!
Hopeless at this point. Can't drop him from here. Worse than a war zone.
Get me! All right, let's go. Now!
Whoops.
Last chance to back the hell down.
Come on, it's this way.
McAfee doesn't make the rules. You hear? LAPD, you're making a big mistake. Is this really the best McAfee's got?
Everywhere. You have to get me out of here.
Get him over here, I'll cover you! Come on, the cavalry's here!
Insanity. Those barrels at the base of the elephant column. They're full of gasoline. Shoot them! Quickly! For the love of God, how many are there?
Weapons on the ground, now!
I don't want to die.
Stay down.
Follow me. We need to get him to the car.
This is all Valent's fault.
Stay in.
Shot me! There's an army of them. We're done for.
Get him to the car. I can cover you from here. You're almost there.
I should have known that bitch was trouble.
Get him over here, I'll cover you! Come on, the cavalry's here! McAfee doesn't make the rules. You hear me?
Hello, person just stole from on live stream.
Follow me. We need to get him to the car.
LAPD, you're making a big mistake. How long do you think you can hold out? Is this really the best McAfee's got?
Get to the car. I can cover you from here. You're almost there.
Weapons on the ground, now!
Get me out of here.
I'm out of here. Stay down.
Kennedy!
I need someone to come.
Killed him.
Now, this is what I call a result. Mark Bishop, erstwhile film producer, an all-around piece of shit, catches a fast ticket to Quentin for statch rape and attempted murder, so he gets to spend the next 15 years playing sissy instead of sticking it to little girls. That is justice with a capital J, Detective Phelps. Developed such a reputation, I'm not going to be able to hold on to you any longer. You're getting promoted. Go on, get your new assignment. It was good working with you, son.
Been promoted.
Phelps, Bukowski, this your work?
Can I help you, Detective?
Sorry, Cap. Didn't see you there.
Yeah, I'll bet you didn't. This is a traffic case. You need something?
I'm here to buy a drink for the 2 LAPD traffic cops who broke the back of Guy McAfee's private army. You don't have a problem with that, do you, Captain?
Go right ahead.
Get in. I'm buying. You'll like this place. A lot of movie people hang out here. You like jazz, Cole? The hopheads love it.
Sure, I guess.
Big bands and swing I can understand, but this bebop palaver? How are you supposed to dance to that? This is Phelps, Leroy. Be nice to him. You'll like this place. They treat you right.
You like a table, Roy?
What do you think we want to do? Stand at the bar like
I'll
chumps?
get a table ready for you.
Don't look so happy to see me, Alphonse. I might get the wrong impression. Cole, this is Alphonse. He's a French Negro from Africa. Can you beat that?
The Congo.
A pleasure to meet you, Alphonse. Is Elsa singing tonight?
Yes, she is. She has the next set.
Come on, Cole. You can meet Elsa while they're fixing us a table. You'll like her. She's something else.
Maybe another night, Roy. She's pretty beat up about it.
Get your hands off me. Don't ever tell me what to do or what not to do, Alphonse. You got a nice club here. Don't spoil it.
If you will follow me, detectives. Just through the door.
He was my only real friend, Harlan. We went through it all. Do you realize what he meant to me?
Of course I do.
You have no idea. You said it was construction work.
It was an industrial accident, Elsa. How can I be held responsible?
Elsa, are you going on?
Louis, for God's sake, he was my best friend. The only man who ever loved me without putting his hands on me.
Hi, Elsa. Here's someone I'd like you to meet. Cole Phelps, war hero and crime fighter extraordinaire.
And why would I want to meet another fascist from the LAPD?
Sorry about this, Cole. What an evening I'm having. First a Negro puts his hands on me, and then this. Who do you think you're talking to, you German junkie whore? Don't you ever forget your place with me again. Do you hear me? Evening, Doc. How's business?
Sanguine. Louis, help me here. I'm gonna have to give her something before her performance.
Blow it off, Cole. These artsy-fartsy types always get a little flighty. Meet Dr. Harlan Fontaine, doctor to the stars. Mr. Fix-It to the mental wreckage of Hollywood. So what about that drink, boys?
Right, I'm on the homicide desk. Another trophy. Right, in YouTube, I think I'm going to end this video now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Cheerio.